Welcome. Today we will see different types of enclosures used in cylindrical pressure vessels. These enclosures are also known as formed heads. There are two types of enclosures. First, domed heads. They are further classified into hemispherical heads, semi-ellipsoidal heads, and toruspherical heads. And second is conical heads. Now we will see hemispherical heads. Hemispherical heads have minimum plate thickness, minimum weight, and consequently lowest material cost. However, the amount of forming required to produce the hemispherical shape is more, resulting in increased forming cost. The thickness of the hemispherical head is given by T is equal to Pi into Ri divided by 2 sigma T into efficiency minus 0.2 Pi plus Ca, where Ri is the inner radius of the cylindrical shape, Ca is the corrosion allowance, and neta is the weld joint efficiency. This is the hemispherical heads, where Ri is the inner radius of the cylindrical shape, this Di is inner diameter, Do is outer diameter, and T is nothing but thickness of the hemispherical heads. Now we will see semi-ellipsoidal heads. In a semi-ellipsoidal head, the ratio of the major axis to the minor axis is taken as 2:1. The thickness of a semi-ellipsoidal head is given by T is equal to Pi into Di divided by 2 sigma T into efficiency minus 0.2 Pi plus Ca. From the above equation, it is observed that the thickness of the semi-elliptical head is more, almost twice, than the corresponding hemispherical head, and to that extent the material cost is more. However, due to the shallow dished shape, the forming cost is reduced. The length of the straight portion SF is given by SF is equal to 3 times thickness or 20 mm, whichever is more. This is the semi-ellipsoidal head. This is nothing but SF, that is length of straight portion, Di internal diameter, Do external diameter, and T is nothing but thickness. Now we will see toruspherical heads. Toruspherical heads are extensively used as enclosures for a horizontal pressure vessels such as tankers for water, milk, petrol, diesel, and kerosene. They are also used for small vertical pressure vessels. They are shaped by using two radius, crown radius L, that is this radius, and knuckle radius Ri, that is this small radius Ri, which connects this crown radius with this cylindrical shape. The crown radius L is the radius of the dish that constitutes the major portion of the head. The knuckle radius Ri is the corner radius joining the spherical crown with the cylindrical shape. Toruspherical heads require less forming than semi-ellipsoidal heads. Their main drawback is the local stresses at the two discontinuities, namely the junction between the crown head and the knuckle radius, that is this is the crown head, and knuckle radius, that is this, and the junction between the knuckle radius and the centric shell, that is this knuckle radius, which connects this cylindrical shell here. The localized stresses may lead to failure due to brittle fracture. The thickness of a toruspherical head is given by T is equal to 0.885 Pi into L divided by sigma T into efficiency minus 0.1 Pi plus Ca. The knuckle radius Ri is taken as 6% of the crown radius, that is Ri is equal to 0.06 into L. This is the toruspherical head. Now we will see conical head. The thickness of the conical head is given by T is equal to Pi into Di divided by 2 cos alpha into bracket sigma T into efficiency minus 0.6 into Pi bracket complete plus C, where alpha is the half the apex angle. The half apex angle is usually less than 30 degrees. This is the conical head. This is cone shape, where Di is inner diameter, Do is outer diameter, T is nothing but thickness, and this is the alpha means semi-cone angle. Now we will see openings in pressure vessel. Openings are provided in the pressure vessel. These could be an inlet and outlet pipe connections, manhole or handhole, connections for pressure gauges, temperature gauges, and safety holes. The openings are circular, elliptical, or oblong. The inner diameter of the manhole is generally 380 mm. Such openings are designed by the area compensation method. The basic principle of the area compensation method is illustrated in this figure. When the opening is cut in the inner pressure vessel, an area is removed from the shell. It must be reinforced by an equal amount of area near the opening. Now we will see this figure. First of all, this is figure A. This is the vessel, this is the opening. Now this much area, whatever hash, is removed. Therefore, this much area is compensated by here. That is, area is added. Area removed is equal to area added. That is, this annular ring is placed near this opening. The area removed should be equal to the area added. The area is added by providing reinforcing pad in the form of annular circular plate around the opening. It should be noted that in this method we are considering cross-sectional area in the form of a rectangular strip. It is not the compensation of volume of metal that has been cut due to the opening by means of the reinforcing pad. Now we will see area compensation for nozzle. This is the nozzle. It is not always necessary to replace the actually removed area of metal. The plate of the shell and nozzle are usually thicker than would be required to withstand pressure. This partially compensates for loss of area in the opening. Now we will see these different dimensions in case of this area compensation for nozzle, that is different areas A, then A1, A2, A3, A4, this X dimension, and these are different thickness, TR, T, TRN, and then these different heights H1, H2, this CM is corrosion allowance. We will see these different dimensions. This diameter DI, inner diameter DI, this diameter small d considering corrosion allowance. We will see these different dimensions. As shown in figure, A is equal to D into TR, where A is equal to area of metal removed in corroded condition in mm square. D is equal to inner diameter of opening in corroded condition is equal to Di plus 2Ca in mm. Di inner diameter of nozzle in mm. TR required thickness of the cylindrical shell in mm. The required thickness TR is given by TR is equal to Pi into Di divided by 2 sigma T into efficiency minus Pi. The metal used for reinforcement should be located in the vicinity of the opening. The limiting dimension x parallel to the wall of the cylindrical shell is given by x is equal to small d, or x is equal to into bracket di divided by 2 plus small t plus tn minus 3ca, whichever is maximum. The limiting dimensions h1 and h2 parallel to the nozzle wall are given by h1 or h2 is equal to 2.5 into bracket t minus ca, or h1 or h2 is equal to 2.5 into bracket tn minus a, whichever is minimum, where t is equal to total thickness of the wall of the cylindrical shell in mm, tn is equal to total thickness of nozzle wall in mm. The area A1 of x is thickness in the vessel wall, whichever is available for reinforcement is given by A1 is equal to 2x minus d into bracket t minus tr minus c in equation 2. The area A2 of x is thickness in the nozzle wall is given by A2 is equal to 2h into bracket Tn minus Trn minus C, equation 3, where Trn is the thickness required for the nozzle wall to be able to withstand pressure, or Trn is equal to Pi into Di divided by 2 sigma T into efficiency minus Pi. The area A3 of the inside extension of the nozzle is given by A3 is equal to 2h2 into bracket Tn minus 2Ca. The total area available for reinforcement is A1 plus A2 plus A3 when A1 plus A2 plus A3 is greater than or equal to A. The opening is adequately reinforced and no reinforcing pad is required. When this condition is not fulfilled, a reinforcing pad of area A4 is required, which is given by A4 is equal to A minus into bracket A1 plus A2 plus A3. Sometimes a reinforcing pad of area equal to capital A is used for the opening to avoid detailed calculations. This results in oversized reinforcement. Thank you very much.